start collecting writing samples. And then raters will use PLDs to assign students a rating in each language domain, which you have that in your rater manual. So who takes TELPAs? It's all EL students in K-12, which includes our parental denials, our LEP students on homebound, foreign exchange students identified as LEP. We don't test our monitored students if they've already been reclassified, which is our new word for exited. If they've exited the program, then we know we do not need to TELPAs test them.
So now we're gonna be exiting, because before it wasn't like that?
No,
No, we're not.
no, I'm just saying
The
if,
only ones that we can exit are those that are PDs.
Ah,
Those are the ones that they do recommend, but all of the PDs, I'm getting them in, because I'm trying to make them ESLs.
so they can have the benefits of it.
And
I
that's
made
if that
like 3 of them.
PD
I'm working on a 4th one.
that's if that PD has passed reading with, reading star,
They have to have the criteria.
yes. So they have to pass reading star with, meets,
Advanced.
masters, and they have to pass the TELPAs reading with advanced height on all domains, also listening, speaking, and, reading and writing.
Okay, is this generation getting that credit for Spanish or no?
Yes, we're still continuing with
Yes.
that. Yes.
And we're gonna go back to the previous slide, which has to do with writing with the PLDs. Raise your hand if you're familiar with the proficiency, language descriptors, the PLDs. All right, so just real quick to touch base real quick on the writing portion, a couple of things have changed. So just to inform you all, get you all a little bit more comfortable with a couple of things that changed. So, in the past, when they had a writing sample, they would turn in the sample. We couldn't give them feedback or anything. So now a couple of things have changed. We can give them feedback. So if the student, Miss Annie Garza, gives me the writing sample, I can review it. Now I can't notate any marks on the paper. You need to change this, your whatever, your spelling, your grammar, whatever it is. You're not focusing on that, but you can just, Miss Annie, can you give me an example of when you saw the water cycle? Can you further describe that? And then Annie's like, oh, I remember when my parents took me to the beach. I remember that the water evaporated. Okay, can you go ahead and add that to your paper? So now you can give them feedback, but it has to be verbal feedback. It can't be written. And then things that they've already done in the past, same thing now would be, we can shoulder partner. I can shoulder partner with somebody. And then I don't remember what that was called, but then when I shoulder partnered, Miss Annie was like, oh, this is evaporation. And this right here is precipitation. So then now I can add that. I can add the actual academic vocabulary because my shoulder partner helped me. Or another thing that the students can do is they can pull out their journals. The science journal, the math journal. Oh, first I need to multiply here and then I subtract. That's what I did on this problem. So then when they go to write their writing sample, they saw that in the journal first they multiplied and then they subtracted. So I'm gonna go ahead and write that as a statement. The first statement, I multiplied, and then with the following integer, I subtracted. So, but they can verify that through their journal, through their shoulder partner, and they can also use teacher feedback. That's the newest one, teacher feedback. Yes.
You just need to be careful of that if they're gonna be using their journal, that they're not gonna be copying the notes that you had. So it's it's kind of like, what is it? Plagiarism for their own work. They can't do that. It has to be their own.
So
They
what
have to be careful with that.
manual says, what the manual says is that a writing sample cannot be heavily relied on either a dictionary or a thesaurus, because it can use that, or any other material, which could be their journal. So if you see that they just copied word for word all their notes and all of the dictionary entry, then, okay, hey, I need you to do this again.
Right, so they would need to extend on the idea, so this is what the dictionary says, but let me put it in my words. Okay, so the dictionary says, precipitation may include rain, hail, sleet, So when they start listing all of that and their story has nothing to do with rain, sleet, hail, then then they probably just copy. So
Okay.
kind
You
of
also
to get
know
the
their
gist.
rights, so you know what's legit and what's.
Right, it should be an authentic sample. And another thing, we could collect, yes, 1 second. We could collect more than 5 samples. So if you collect, say, maybe 7 samples, and you're kind of like, is this student an intermediate or are they in advanced? I'm not sure. So try to go with the older writing samples, not the ones that happened towards the beginning. If you took 7, the latter 5. Disregard, and whatever you see, no, he is an intermediate. I think he is an intermediate. Then that's what you should go with. Yes, Mrs. Peña.
Can we refrain from using dictionaries and journals? Can we just give them like a feedback, like introduction of the topic that we're gonna be talking about, so they can start writing, or maybe show them a video or something like that, rather than let them use like dictionaries and.
You're tying their hands.
Too many resources. I
But
think
then
it would
we-
be up to teacher discretion. I mean, I feel you know your students best. If you feel that if I give them too many things, I give them a dictionary, I give them a Chromebook, I give them a journal, they're gonna be like, it's too much. If you feel that way, and you feel like Mrs. Peña said, you know what, I would rather put a water cycle video and then have them elaborate on their journal entry. If you feel that would work best.
But we've
But
been training
remember-
on the summit. So the summit kind of gives them the idea, and we've been training them, okay, you know something, you see a picture related to personal life, or maybe tied it to science or social studies. That's what we're training them for. Because then I'm afraid that on that day they will give them the samples, they will be just, because I will
Okay,
have.
but remember, when you're writing, it shouldn't be something that you're pulling out from somewhere, because it's part of the instruction already. So it's just like Mission Writes, they've been writing already, so they get assistance from here or there. So if they're gonna rely heavily on something, it's because they don't know much about it. So I wouldn't tie their hands. I don't know, what is your opinion on that, Ms. Ortiz?
I always use a dictionary whenever
Well, the
but-
dictionary, but
And
I
what
mean,
about the journal?
journal?
Because
I.
You might copy word per
like in
word.
science,
What if you practice
I
with
have
it?
some
I
students.
was in the journal before, like, so, like, in class, have them write a sample with their journal, but make sure that they're not copying it, or train them not to copy.
Right.
Or what I do something is I have them read before I pass out the paper, okay, read it, let's talk about it, close it, and see if you can write about it.
Yes.
Yes.
Because otherwise,
Yes.
they take off copying word per word. So I
Yes.
said, close it,
Yes.
put it away, let's see what
Especially
you
the
remember.
beginners,
Yes.
because they don't have that
and you're
vocabulary.
gonna know that they did that, so that's gonna be a sample you're not gonna take.
Oh.
Right, they have to
Understand what I'm
redo it
saying?
again.
So then
And
you're gonna
so-
be doing it again, and
Well, yeah, but remember. it's
And I'm gonna
not-
keep them during recess if I have to do it
But
again.
but it's not, stop that.
Well, I'm just
But
saying.
it's not one of those that, okay, today we're doing Telpas, you're gonna write, and you have to finish it. Because I might not finish it.
Right.
It's not, that's back in the day.
Or
Now it
sometimes
should
you might
be a
say,
process.
Right,
Right up
so-
to this line, they always ask you that, like,
yes.
do I have to write the whole page, or do I
But
just
that's
write
why
it to
we're
this
doing
line?
the writing, like mission rights, so we can train them, and we're doing summit, so they can blend them both and do the telpas.
Right.
But, so in other words, and maybe I'm wrong, I'm just trying to be an advocate that if they're allowing us to do it, then why are we not allowed, it's an accommodation. Why am I taking away accommodations that would benefit them?
Because I'm not
Now, if they
afraid,
use it incorrectly,
Yeah.
that's different. But remember, this is not something that I'm gonna do it on this day and it has to be turned in.
Mm-hmm.
If they didn't do it right, then you're gonna know by looking at it, and you're gonna say, you can use it, but you can't copy word by word.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be, and if you can't stop that, then read it all, close it, and put it to the side.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know what I'm saying? You wanna be able to help them so it's a writing process.
I think
And the
if
best
they
way-
have to do it again, they wouldn't.
Right, right, and the best way to eliminate that would be to model it. We model doing it together as a class. You can put the paper up and you're modeling how you're going to not copy. Okay, let's read the dictionary. We read the whole dictionary, whatever the definition is for whatever word they're looking for, erosion. And they read the whole, definition, and then, okay, so how do we put that in our words? Okay, shoulder partner with each other. And then, okay, let's write it together in our words. So that way, when we model it, then they're able to put it into play. Because when you just tell them, don't do it, they're like, well, I don't know how to do it then. But if we model how not to do it, then it's easier for them to put it into practice because they've been practicing it. And again, with the mission rights, that's gonna help. In the summit program, that's gonna help. Because the summit program gives them an opportunity to write down, and then, okay, let me read whatever I wrote. That way I can say it and I don't freeze. What else do I say? They already have it written down, they've already planned it out, so all they have to do is read it. And then lastly, real quick, just to extend what Ms. Sanchez said, so the idea is to try to give the sample like on Tuesday, and then they didn't have enough time, or maybe they didn't have enough writing. They wrote up to here and you want them to write a little bit longer, okay, so then let's try it again on Wednesday. And some students, they'll be done by Wednesday, great. But then some other students need a little bit more processing time, so they'll still be able to do it on Thursday. So it's not, oh, they were absent the day that we did it, we didn't get to do it with that student. So that way they have time to build up on the writing sample.
And I try to just schedule one a week. That way you have that whole week to get them to write, you know, and if they're out, then you get them the next day. So you have time to do that.
I'm interested in Mr. Ortiz's input on this, because he wasn't really, I didn't hear what he had to say.
Mr. Ortiz,
Oh, what, he was asked.
What was the question?
she wants to know what Mr. Ortiz's input is on what we're talking about.
Cause she didn't hear you.
Oh, as far as writing, I mean, that's all my kids ever did. I was a fifth grade teacher, so all I ever did was, I only graded open-ended tests. I never graded letter answer choices or anything like that. I mean, I wanted to know what the students thought. And it's working out pretty good for the fifth grade, students that I have. You know, I was telling Gina that I'm very optimistic. I have really good kids. I mean, they sent me they sent me like creme de la creme. But the kids that are there, I told Gina the other day and I told Rhonda, I mean, that's masters, those are 26 kids that were masters degree easily.
Did that address your question?
But what you will find is that when you write a lot, kids won't have time to plagiarize because they like to write. They just have to be given the opportunity to write.
Yes. Once it
You'd be
just becomes,
surprised, guys. It's just, if you come, I mean, and I know that I'm doing fifth grade, you know, so it's kind of a bummer because the lower grades, I get you where you're at. I've taught lower grades before. But like, to see the kids just like, sir, just give me one more minute. I mean, that's just phenomenal to be able to hear that from a student and say, hey, Steve, 1 more minute to write, sir. 1 more minute, please.
that's showing that they're practicing it routinely, that it's not like this is the first time that we do it, because they're not gonna know what to write. But if they want that extra minute, then it's showing that they are doing it.
Yeah.
And that helps with fourth grade, when they get to fourth grade and they're writing.
Right.
You still have after this year, 1 more year.
Right.
Okay, so special administration of an online assessment, so far, according to the arts that I've